what is this, like some in some industry they will violate maybe for example child labor. For example, like I will give you the case of Primark. Okay, Primark is a seller, a retailer. I'm sorry, retailer in the UK. You can understand it is as like big C, right? Retailer at very low price. Okay, so most of the products they outsource manufacturing in some Middle East and South Asian countries, for example, like Pakistan, okay, Bangladesh, also. So those manufacturers, there was like the case in 2015 and 2016. Primark was like boycotted in the UK. Since it figured out that their partner, their manufacturing partner in Bangladesh, used the child label in the process of manufacturing product under their brand name. So it is also like creating problem for Primark, even though they are not the one who hide the child label directly. However, still like create problems for their brand name, for their sales of the companies. On the screen, you can see that the case of Martel and their partner in China called Early Light International Holdings. Okay, so what is the relationship between Martel and Early Light? Do you know what Martel is? Okay, just stop here and see. Like, do you know what Martel, like, what does Martel produce? Does you have any idea? Like, what does Martel produce? Do you have any one here? No, okay. So, in your lifetime, especially during your childhood, have you ever had any toys? Okay, thank you, that. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, that. Yeah, they are the one who produce like Barbie girl, like Jax. I'm not sure about like, yeah, but like the Barbie girl collection, that is like the products under the name of Martels, and also like Toy Story, Disney channels. They also, Disney company, they also have some like products like of the characters in the Toy Story. It is also like produced by Martel and other animation characters as well. So basically, from like my example, you know, Mattel is a really big toys company, okay, toys retailers. So by the time growing, they don't directly manufacture those toys anymore, but like they signed a contract with Early Light International Holdings in China for produce some common products. It's not like for the product which are not the core products of them, okay, not the like important, we can say they're not the important products of them. However, like in 2007, there was a problem that like Mattel had to recall like 10 millions of toys made in China. I mean, like made in Early Light International Holdings due to a safety issues. Okay, so and yes, of course, because of that recalls, right? When a company has money, it's never like can help them save any money and in any way. So like, why did they have to recall like 10 millions of toys, right? So was this because of Early Light International Holding did anything wrong? And yeah, surprisingly, it was not Early Light International made the mistake, but it was the supplier of Early Light International Holding who made the mistake. In the supply chain, we call them like the second tier supplier. It means that if we take the supply chain like Martel as the focal firm, Early Light International Holding is the tier one supplier, and the supplier of Early Light is the tier two supplier. So the tier two supplier, the supplier for Early Light, what do they sell to Early Light? They sell like the painting, which can be used to paint on the like cover, okay, paint on the toy itself. And that paint, the safety issue here is that in the paint, it is found out that like the pain includes like the level of lead, the level of lead higher than allowance in America market. Okay. And for that reason, like the products is not like considered as safety as safe for children to play, and Martell has to recall it. So from that example, it was quite surprising for you, right? Like the problem was not created by the firm by themselves, and it wasn't also not created by the partner, the firm themselves. It was because of partner. So in such case, caused by like inappropriate analysis here, and it also linked with we call like lose the supply chain visibility for Martell because they don't produce by themselves. They didn't produce by themselves. It means that they lose the direct interact with the painting suppliers. Okay, so the quality of the paint was no longer within their range of controls anymore, and because of that fact, like they have no idea when the finished product come to their company. It's also like they have no clue that they have to test the level of lead in the paint or in the toys anymore. Okay, yeah, and due to that problem, after that, like Martell also have to create procedures for like further or stricter quality controls within their company as well. And it will link with like the process of outsourcing we will discuss later. So uh, from the explanation of the case of Martell, we can say that like there's a lot to learn about like outsourcing as a method to improve like productivity and performance, and it's also like a way that we can lose productivity or performance if we do not control it properly. So normally, like the companies have to face with the ideas of like, should we keep that activity in-house? It means that should we do the activity by ourselves, or should we like outsource it? So now I would like to ask you, like for a company, what should they base on to make the decision on whether they do an activity by themselves or outsource? You get my question? My question here is what factor or what criteria does a company should a company base on for making the decision of in-house or outsourcing? Now think about this a bit and give me like your idea. When you're thinking, I will like repeat the question again. Like, in your opinion, what criteria or what factors should a company base on when making the decision whether they should like do the activity by themselves or like they should outsource it? Seeing like some of the answer. So yeah, I will waiting for like further explanation or more answer, more ideas. For sure, not just one criteria. Like mine already mentioned about money. Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Hiếu. And I'm still waiting for like more answer from you guys. But anyway, Hiểu, I think like I will give you a nickname like one word answer boy. Because all the answer you give me today, like just one word. But anyway, yes, okay. Now, Maya mentioned about like, okay, based on finance, how much money does the company has, right? About vision and possibility. Would you like to explain it a little bit more, like how vision can affect the decision? Like I will buy it, I will do it, or I will not do it. Or the
I think
possibility.
that
Yes.
the vision can affect the decision to make or buy, because it's like if the company have a long-term vision to expand to a bigger kind of company, like thôi em nói tiếng Việt đâu cô, em đang bí từ quá. Kiểu
Yes.
như là một cái công ty nếu như mà cái trước hết là phải cái thực tại trước đã, là công ty đấy cũng có tiềm năng, có đủ nguồn cung cấp và có mong muốn là phát triển công ty thành một công ty cỡ lớn hơn đấy ạ, có thể là liên kết lớn hơn, hoặc là kiểu cung cấp nhiều dịch vụ hơn hay như nào ấy ạ, thì họ sẽ phải cân nhắc mở rộng mô hình công ty rộng hơn. Còn nếu như mà bản thân chủ sở hữu họ vẫn muốn duy trì mô hình dạng quy mô nhỏ với vừa ấy ạ, thì họ có lẽ là vẫn cân nhắc đến cái việc là in-house ấy ạ, không mở rộng. Đấy là em nghĩ vậy ạ.
Okay, thank you, Mai. Very nice. Yes, right. So, right, exactly like the scales. In your case, there's the scales of the company, right? If it is a like company that has potential to grow the scales to be bigger, right? They will maybe like they should outsource some of the activity, so like they have more resources to focus on like the growing progress, right? Okay, or if they still like limited resources, it's not enough for them to grow, maybe like they should keep in-house. Okay, later we will see. And time, okay, here, what do you think time has impacts on, like with the we do it in-house or outsource? How time can has, yes.
I think like if you want kiểu như là khi chuẩn bị lên một kế hoạch kiểu lắp ghép hay một cái gì đấy, thì công ty sẽ phải tốn thời gian để chuẩn bị các cái quy trình quản lý các thứ. Còn nếu như mình nhờ một bên khác thì mình cần chọn một cái bên nào đấy mà nó có quy trình phù hợp với cả chính sách và cách làm việc ở công ty là được, chứ mình không cần phải tốn thời gian để tạo thêm một cái quy trình mới.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yes. So now in this case, you consider time as one kind of resources, right? Thời gian cũng là một loại nguồn lực, đúng không? You consider time as one kind of resource, as money, as human. Okay, so it's limited. Actually, the amount of time a company has will have a relationship with like the amount of employees it has, right? So it means like, yeah, time is limited, number of employees limited, so maybe I shouldn't like pay much attention or pay much effort on doing that job by myself. I wouldn't use that human, I wouldn't use that time on doing some like more fundamental activity of my company, and like some like less important activities I will like move it out. So the question here is like, we have to know, right? It means that the company still do something and they will not do something else. Okay, so the biggest question here is like, we have to decide what is the something I keep in-house and what is something else I move it outside, right? So that is one of the criteria of. It means that we have to look at the activities, as Hiếu said, like thay vì tốn thời gian làm cái việc đó, đúng không, chúng ta đưa người khác làm, còn cái thời gian đó chúng ta để làm việc khác, thì đấy chính là câu chuyện giữa việc đó và cái việc khác là nó có sự khác biệt, đúng không? So here we say like strategic importance of activities. It means like the level of importance of company, an activity toward the business growth of the company or toward the performance of the companies. So the strategic importance can be seen, okay, can be reflected through like two variables. First of all, volume. It means volume here is mean like their contribution to the revenue volume of the company. Or it also can be seen as like the volume, the amount of that activities can consume the resources of the company. Second of all, like the level of stability of that activities. For example, transportation with like the frequencies of delivery to the clients is high or low. Okay, stability means, for example, like warehousing. Do we have like some products to keep in the warehouse every day, or maybe just randomly on like 1 or 2 days of a week or a month we have something to keep in house? Otherwise, all of the products are delivered directly after finishings. So that is also related to stability. It means that the first thing we look at the activity by itself, okay, how important it is toward your company performance. That is like look inside, okay, you look at yourself. The second thing you mentioned is about like, yeah, like as Mine said, right, the scale, like I will grow, okay, so maybe I will leave it to someone else to do and I will focus on my job. So it means that like that's someone else. There should be someone in the market which is able to do the job, okay? Even like you want to outsource, however, when you look outside, there's no one else there who is able to take care, who is able to be in charge of the job. Is also still impossible for you to outsource, okay? For example, like production, right? And you're looking for like a laptop manufacturer or laptop assembly, okay? You want to outsource that part so that you can focus more on designing. However, when you look outside to the market, unfortunately, like in the market, like apart from you, apart from your company, there's no one else that is good enough, okay, that is capable enough of making a product which is as good as you do, okay? The quality of the laptop that other suppliers can make is like much lower than the level qualities of by yourself. In this case, even though you want to outsource, it is also like need more consideration, since otherwise when you focus on developing the design, however, the quality of the product is going down, and it also risks the business of your company, right? So yeah, from that you see there are two fundamental points. There are two fundamental factors you need to look at. First of all, like the importance of that activity. That is the first keyword. And the second one is the capability, the abilities of the supplier, which is available in the area that you're looking for. So for more like specific variables, for more specific like construct, you can look at for the importance of activity, you can look at two index, which is volume and stability. For the capability of supplier, you look at like their technical, their managerial like ability to manage job, expertise, mean like knowledge, skills, okay, experience, and so on. Also, you look at the capacity of them. It means like they can produce the products at the good quality, even like better than your company. Yes, that's good. However, like you need in a month, you need 100,000 products. However, in a month, they just can produce like 1,000 products. So that is something you also have to consider, okay? You can produce good product. However, your production capacity is so small, okay? You cannot fulfill. So that is like the idea why you have to look at like assess technologies infrastructure, because like those things reflect the capacity of their activity, of their job doing. Okay, now we will look at like, you see the word metrics here. Okay, metrics is like two direction graph, right? And then it will like divide, okay, combine two factors, going to divide into 4 quadrants. The subject you already like work with the matrix theory, okay? So remember, like 2 criteria here is importance of activity, supplier capability. There are 2 factors, so we put it here, okay? Importance of the activities for the 1 factor on criteria, and the other factors is like supplier capability, okay? So using this is a matrix, okay? Using this matrix based on 2 criteria, you will have like 4 quadrants. It means like split into 4 different types. And those 4 different types will assist your company in making the decision. Okay, so this is like the follow the what is ACES? Okay, follow the ACES. Okay, so is this like company? I mean, like this area is where the suppliers has high capability. Okay, they have much like understanding about the job they can produce, or they can do the activity at like high capacity, and vice versa. Okay, oppositely, this is like low capability of supplier. Same thing like here, like at this level, like that activity hold a strategic important, okay, holds really important, really essential position toward the company. Okay, it will like directly affect the growth or the decline of like the company business. And this point, like lower level of strategic important, in like, yeah, that activity doesn't really has much impact on the growth of the company. Based on that idea, right, we can like have 4 decisions like this. Okay, so it means that, for example, if that activities, okay, for example, like for the first quadrant here, form a strategic alliance, it means that if that activity, I guess, for example, transportation, right? We give example like transportation is one of the activities that company can outsource. Okay, so for example, for that business, transportation hold a very strategic importance. It means that like whether we transport quickly or we transport slowly can affect like the growth, the competitiveness of the company is here. And in the market, like there are many suppliers who can transport faster than us, more reliably than us, okay, transport on a like wider networks than us, okay. In such case, you need to outsource to the supplier because the supplier are doing better than you. However, because the activity hold a strategic important, it is necessary for you to have like strategic here is mean like a very tight, okay, connection. Okay, maybe like you will sign a very long-term deal, or even like you have to invest a bit into your like partners, okay, or maybe some strategic agreement. For example, like they just provide the service, they just do the transportation only for you in the market, not for any competitor, because otherwise, like if they offer your service and they also offer like competitor service as well, they will lose, your company will lose the competitiveness. Similarly, okay, if like the activities, okay, that activity, okay, for like many supplier in the market can do better than your company, you have to outsource. So from like the 2 quadrants on the right side, it means that you keep in your mind that like you look out to the market, you see if any supplier are competent, are better, are like more capable of doing that same thing than you, so your company need to outsource. Okay. However, if that activities is important, okay, you have to form the strategic alliance of outsourcing. If that activities is not so important, okay, for example, like accounting, right? Accounting is necessary for a firm. However, it doesn't directly affect the growth or decline of a company, right? Because it's just like daily basics activity, you do it like monthly. So it's conventional outsource, okay? So you just simply like sign some contracts of outsourcing the activity, having terms, having some duration of the terms and so on. And the other two, like when you look at the market, and unfortunately in the market, like there's not so many, or even like there's no supplier that can do better than you do the activities, okay? However, that activity is so very important to your company, you have to keep it in-house, you do it by yourself. In the case that that activity is not really important and like doing it by yourself still like cost a lot of cost and also like waste times, okay? It's maybe you have to look for another supplier. Maybe like in this market in the city you don't have, but however, like when you look at like another province or some other area, maybe there's some potential supplier which can fulfill the need of your company. So that is the idea, like find another supplier, okay? So I have some, like, yes. Okay. Okay, I was like, but yes, here it is. So on the screen, you can hear like the examples of outsourcing the situation of delivery service, transporting. Okay, so for transporting, for example, for company like Walmart, okay, they still keep the transportation in-house, even though like their core competition is like their core competency, their core business is retailing, right? However, as my mentioned, one thing is about vision, okay? So for their strategies of doing retailing service, they trying to offer all kinds of products at the lowest price to their partners. In order to do so, okay, in delivery, okay, transportation is one of the activity that can contribute greatly to reduce the price of the products. Since like retailer, something like Big C or Vinmart, you get the idea. So it means like Walmart doesn't produce the product by themselves. They don't produce the product by themselves. It means that it is impossible for them to lower the cost of production by themselves. For producing company, if they want to lower the price, maybe they think about like buy cheaper materials, use machine for higher productivity, something like that. But for Walmart, it's impossible for them to do so. Okay, for the same cup, okay, they buy from one supplier. Their competitors, the other rivalry, also buy from that competitor for surely more or less similar price, okay, of purchasing. So refer with the knowledge about total cost of ownership, TOC, if you still remember. Okay, so the cost of purchasing for retailer, right? Here's purchasing for them, procurement for them is buying all the finished item into the company. So in order to lower the price of the finished products before they sell it, they have to lower the total cost of ownership. Okay, here they cannot lower the purchasing price of the item, so they have to lower other items in that total cost, which and one of this includes the transportation. I mean like how they organize the transportation, that they can lower it as much as possible. That is one thing. And then like when they look at the market here is doing like in America. Okay, when they want to look for like a partner who can do like domestic trucking, that can be like cheaper than they do it on their own. Okay, it is impossible for them. So in such case, like for Walmart, even though like their main business is retailing, they still build up. I mean, like they still invest in like setting up their own like truck fleet, okay, and organize the transportation of like inbound logistics from their supplier to the distribution center by themselves in order to achieve the visions of like offering products at the lowest price in the market. For the other case of Coca-Cola is also the same, okay? Because like Coca-Cola is a product, for the product life cycle, actually it moved to the stagnation level. You study about like product life cycle, right? So for products, when it was just introduced to the market, it is in the introducing phase, it will experience growing phase, and then it will experience stagnation phase and then decline, right? So for the Coca-Cola products, actually the products are very mature, okay, old, adult, okay, mature in the market. So for them, like there's no more room for them to create any like differentiative in the products, or it's also there's no room for them to reduce the production cost anymore, even though Coca-Cola produced by themselves, because it was like everything was up to maximum limit, okay, by the time of developing of like innovation in their supply chain, in their company management, everything is up to limit, okay. So for them, like if they want to like compete, okay, increase the revenue, extend the marginal revenue, they have to look at the area for them to lower the cost. So for them, in order to lower the cost, like some delivery service, they will do it indoor. Actually, for them, it's also favorable because they already have a like wide network of distribution, because their products can be distributed in to any retailing stores, any retailing supermarket, and so on and so forth. So for Coca-Cola, like in like they also have. They run their own like distribution center, and then like they have all truck fleet. They also like have their driver to do the jobs, okay, by themselves, keeping it in house. Okay, so here is the like supply strategies. Okay, there's some strategies a company can apply to manage their sourcings. Okay, so one group of strategies when based on the number and the relationship level with the supplier. Okay, so it is like there are some strategies like multiple sourcings. I mean, like you can buy from different suppliers for the same materials or for the same items. Okay, you will like based on like the strategies of few suppliers. Okay, or like you based on like single sourcings, or for a vertical integration, is the level of relationship level. I will go through this quickly since like this one will involve in the like answer for the case study that I assigned for case 1 and case 2. So I will go through this quickly. Actually, today I already upload the file on Google Classroom. However, I will explain it quickly. If you are still like confusing at any point, just like let me know. So for multiple sourcings, it means like you will buy from many suppliers for a particular component. For example, like you are a coffee instant coffee maker, so you will buy like coffee bean from different farmers at the same time. Where for one kind of coffee beans, you don't buy just from one farmer, but like from many farmers, 3, 4, 5, 10 farmers. Okay, so this strategies normally it is used for commodity products. Okay, commodity products as listed here, like food, coffee, bean, okay, agricultural products, and so on. Okay, of course, like it's not the only, okay, it doesn't mean multiple sourcing only apply for commodity product. No, it's not. Okay, if you read the case like Samsung's or Honda, you will realize that even like for technologies product, there are still some cases they apply multiple sourcing. Okay, so why do they have to buy from different suppliers? The idea is because the price, because like the company who is a buyer, they want to create the competitive, they want to create the competition among their suppliers. They want the supplier to know that, okay, I'm buying this, but not just from you, I also buying this from your competitors. So if like you sell to me at higher price, if you sell me like at the same price, however lower qualities, I will stop buying from you. I will just buy from the competitors. That is like the basic mindset of the multiple sourcings. Okay, so that purchasing want to create like the price competition and also other kinds of competition among like the supplier. So like the supplier will try to like guarantee the technology, the quality, the delivery at like the lower, as low cost as possible. That is about multiple sourcing. Okay, for the few supplier, okay, it means that for one kind of products or materials, you just buy from one or two or three. It means like very limited supplier. For the previous one, maybe you buy from like 5, 10 supplier. For this one, you just buy from like 2 or 3, or even like just 1 or 2 suppliers. Okay, so in such case, like the relationship is becoming more strategic. It means that the buyers somehow they also need the supplier now. Okay, they don't easily just lose, just end the relationship with the supplier. Okay, it's not easy like that. So for them, they have to form like a long-term relationship with the suppliers. Okay, somehow like normally it will be in the case of like that supplier will supply some kind of material which is very important to the company. However, why do they don't just buy like from many suppliers as like multiple sourcing? You just buy from 1 or 2, because for the same amount of item you would like to purchase. For example, I want to purchase like 100,000 items. When you buy from 10 supplier, okay, so 100,000 divided by 5, it means that from each supplier you just buy like 20,000. However, now like 100,000 items you buy from 2 suppliers. So 100,000 divided by 2, it means from each supplier you buy like 50,000. So comparing from like supplier you buy just 20,000 items with the supplier from which you buy like 50,000 items. For sure, like the one you buy like 50,000 at once, you will get like better deal. I mean like lower unit price because of economies of scales. First thing. Second thing, like the one who sell, like you order 50,000 from them, you become more important to them because you buy 50,000, you are like a source of income. You buy like 20,000, you are also a source of income, but like that source is lower. You see, so in that relationship, you also like enhance the power in negotiation with that supplier. Okay, because if they don't have that deal with you, they will lose the revenue for 50,000 items. 50,000, not just 5,000, something like that. That is in the mindset. So you hold an importance, a certain importance toward their business growth. Therefore, the supplier are more willing to involved in something like apply just-in-time program. Okay, I will like deliver exactly at the moment you want, not just like on the convenience for my company. They also welcoming you, like they allow you to be involved in like the design of their materials, and they are also willing to be involved in the process of designing the products with you, okay, and some other like technological expertise. And for the company, for your company, even though you are powerful, more powerful in negotiation now, it's also like a risk for you if you want to change the supplier. So normally, like for this kinds of relationship, both sides are tied like stricter, okay, strengthen the knot between the two companies. And yes, I will move to single sourcing. So from the name, you know, like you buy from only one source, one supplier, okay. But normally, like company doesn't apply single sourcing for every materials. They just apply for a few items. And from this, you can understand that a few items, that particular materials hold a really, really important, hold a strategic important that can create the like competitiveness for your company. Okay, so suppliers is critical to the success. They're very necessary, very important to the success of the firm. This is a case you can think about, like a case of iPhone 12. Okay, so Apple, they don't produce anything, right? So they purchase the chip. Okay, the chips that can do the like resolution for the phone. Okay, so that chip can design with the phone can access to like 5G's network or 4G's network. So it means that among all of the phone manufacturer, all the phone brands who can purchase that chip, the first one, develop that chip, the first one in the market, they can have the first phone that can access 5G. So Apple won that race thanks to like the purchase from one like supplier, which is like, as I remember correctly, like Intel, okay, who like support them in developing the chips. And they and after that, like they decided to like improve the integration with that like that supplier, and the improvement is decided by like purchasing it, okay, acquire the Intel business who is in charge of developing the chip into the Apple. And last but not least is vertical backward integration. It means like you purchase the supplier, okay, supplier ownership. It means like not just buy and sell anymore. Okay, you will purchase that supplier to become a subsidiary of your company. That is integration, vertical integration. Okay, so in order to develop the ability to produce goods or like service, that previously you have to purchase outdoor. So why the company like purchase those partner? Because they want to improve the cost. Okay, improve the cost here, not like rise the cost, but when you put it in house, you can look closer at the, like for example, manufacturing chain. You can see like, can you get it cleaner? Is there any worst thing in the supply chain? And you are directly like negotiate with the supplier of your previous supplier, so get better deal, lower the materials, and also like control the quality, the inventories. Okay, however, this like strategy just be applicable in case like the company has capitals, okay, has money. This is possible. So for example, the case of like Apple's and Intel's, mean like in the case Apple has enough money to purchase that right business unit, okay, BU of Intel, and they also have managerial skills. I mean, like when you purchase that supplier, you should be aware of the fact that you are capable of managing a new business that is normally like exactly the same as what you are doing. Okay, so however, it will lower the level of flexibility as well. Previously, we mentioned like outsourcing can enhance the flexibility. So when we do the vertical integration like this, it will lower the level of flexibility. So in such case, like it will also risky if like the industry change frequently. Like from one day you need that materials from, however, like 2 or 3 years later, you don't need that materials anymore. However, like the supplier, they are still there, they are still in your company, and then you cannot just like sell them or fire all of the employee or workers. Okay, so in such case, you also have to consider it. So yeah, I just go through like all fundamental strategies. However, it's quite quick and short. So in the case that you don't understand much, just let me know. Okay? So today's lesson will like stop here, and next Tuesday, next Tuesday we'll finish the chapter 1, and we will have the first 2 case analysis. Okay, so I hope for the students who are not in charge of submitting the case analysis, I mean from students from Phạm Thùy Linh and backward, okay, even though you don't have to submit the case analysis, however, still spend time reading the case beforehand, before the class on next Tuesday. So during the class, when I ask question, you still can answer. And because the case I already gave it to you guys, so for the discussion, maybe I will call the name for answering the question instead of just waiting for you guys to answer the questions. Yeah. Cô nhận được một số tin nhắn ví dụ của Mai Anh đúng không, và Ngọc Đại có nhắn Zalo cho cô, thì lát cô sẽ trả lời lại các bạn nhé. Nên cô sẽ trả lời các bạn để giải đáp thắc mắc cho các bạn. Ok, rồi còn nếu các bạn không có câu hỏi gì nữa thì buổi học hôm nay chúng ta sẽ dừng tại đây. Rất là cảm ơn các bạn đã lắng nghe và đến giờ này, mặc dù khá là muộn rồi.
Em cảm ơn cô ạ.